Kamusta kabayan? Bago natin umpisahan yung video, may gusto lang akong sabihin. Sana okay lang kayo at ang mga pamilya ninyo. Sana nasa mabuti kayong mga kalagayan. I am uploading this episode just a few days after manalasa ng bagyong Ulysses sa Pilipinas. And alam naman natin, nakikita natin sa balita, sa social media, na marami tayong mga kababayan na naapektuhan, nasalanta ng bagyo at ngayon ay humihingi at nangangailangan ng tulong at saklolo. Kaya naman sa konting pamamaraan na kaya natin, tutulong tayo. 100% of the 1-month earnings of this video will be dedicated for our kababayans in need. Ibibigay natin to sa mga donation drives, hindi ko pa alam kung saan, pero definitely maghahanap tayo. Kung may suggestion kayo, let me know in the comment box below. Alam ko na kaya ka napadpad sa video na to, interesado kang malaman yung detalye about the working holiday visa, and I'm confident na marami kang mapupulot na information, hindi lang sa video na to, kundi sa iba pang videos natin dito sa channel. Kaya naman, if you can, kabayan, please watch the video in full and don't skip ads kahit alam kong marami siya than usual. Ayun lang, magsama-sama tayo, magtulong-tulong tayo para sa ating mga kababayan. So without further satsat, here's the video in 3, 2, 1. Kamusta kayo mga kabayan? It's me again, your Pinoy girl here in New Zealand, and aka Girl Chasing Sunshine. Gumagawa ko ng mga videos about sa buhay ko dito sa New Zealand as a Filipino migrant who started with just a working holiday visa. Kaya naman kung bago ka pa lang dito at gusto mong maging updated sa buhay Pinoy sa New Zealand, then please do consider subscribing to my channel by clicking the red button below at yung katabi ng notification bell para wala kayong ma-miss sa aking mga latest uploads. Pwede niyo rin akong i-follow sa aking Facebook page at Instagram at Girl Chasing Sunshine kasi mas regular ang mga updates ko doon, kabayan. Ito na ang pinakahihintay ng marami sa inyo mga kabayan. I'm so excited for today's episode kasi finally, we are going to talk about the visa that I used to migrate here in New Zealand. Ito ang visa na bumago ng buhay ko, ang visa na tumupad ng lahat ng mga pangarap ko. Kaya naman, pack na pack ang episode natin today. I'm talking about the New Zealand Working Holiday Visa Scheme for Filipinos. If you're interested to know more about this visa, I suggest na mag-take kayo ng notes while watching this video, and kung meron pa kayong questions after watching this, then please feel free to leave a comment below dahil gagawa tayo ng Q&A vlog na specific for the Working Holiday Visa. Alam niyo na mga kabayan, we won't start this video without some disclaimers. Disclaimer number 1, I am not an immigration advisor. Lahat po ng sinasabi ko dito ay based on my personal capacity and not in any professional capacity. Everything that I will say here based on po sa aking personal experience, based on what I read and stories na alam ko na experience na ibang tao, at based sa aking personal interpretation ng immigration law or rules dito sa New Zealand. Lagi ko itong pinapaalala kabayan, do your own research, mag-verify kayo, mag-double check kayo sa website ng Immigration New Zealand to ensure na lahat ng information na makuha ninyo ay current and factual. Okay? Please also take note that each journey is different. So my experience, that's my experience. It may not be similar or exactly similar to yours or sa ibang kakilala ninyo. Second, this video is specifically for Philippine passport holders. Kasi sa New Zealand, it offers the working holiday visa scheme to other different nationalities as well. And iba-iba yung eligibility requirements, yung documents na required, as well as yung cost. Kaya this video, it's only applicable for Philippine passport holders, Filipino citizens lang po. Lastly, marami akong gustong i-share about the working holiday visa scheme kasi dito ako sa visa na ito nagsimula. Pero kung i-share ko sa isang video, ang lahat ng alam ko at lahat ng gusto i-share sa inyo, baka abutin tayo ng buong maghapon, mga kabayan. Kaya naman gagawin nating series itong mga videos na to. Okay ba sa inyo yun? For this particular video, mag-focus po ako sa working holiday visa background as well as sa eligibility requirements na kailangan ninyong ma-meet para makapag-apply ng visa na to. Kasi hindi po lahat pwedeng mag-apply ng visa na to. Merong requirements, merong mga qualifications or criteria. O, diba? Lakas baka pageant.
Philippines!
So kung hindi ako immigration advisor, ano ba kasing K ko to talk about the working holiday visa scheme that New Zealand is offering for Filipino citizens? As I've mentioned and as most of you know, this is the visa that I had when I first moved here to New Zealand in 2018. Dahil sa visa na ito mga kabayan, nakapag-migrate ako dito sa New Zealand, nakahanap ako ng permanent job, marami akong nakilalang tao, at higit sa lahat, naging residente ako sa New Zealand in less than 16 months. So kung gusto niyo malaman yung aking story, pwede niyo panoorin yung ating unang-unang video, paano ako nakapunta at nakapag-migrate sa New Zealand, or yung isa sa ating mga latest videos, my New Zealand timeline from working holiday to resident visa. Ilalagay ko yung mga links sa description box below or siguro sa taas. But don't get me wrong kabayan hindi ganun kadali mag-working holiday visa to New Zealand. Lagi kong sinasabi at lagi kong inuulit, isa siyang malaking sugal, isa siyang malaking pakikipagsapalaran. Hindi ibig sabihin na kapag naka-working holiday ka, magtatagal ka dito sa New Zealand, makakahanap ka ng permanent job, magiging residente ka. I'm simply sharing what happened to me. Tulad nga na sinasabi ko rin, iba-iba yung experience nating lahat. Marami rin akong kakilala dito sa New Zealand na nag-start on a working holiday visa at nagtagal sa New Zealand, ngayon residente na, may mga permanent job na, or on their way to residency. Kung gusto niyo mag-feature tayo ng mga working holiday visa success stories, leave a comment below and mag-feature tayo soon. Ayun nga, there's really no guarantee in holding a working holiday visa mga kabayan. Compared to other visa pathways or options, isa siya dun sa siguro matatawag natin, for lack of a better term, laylayan visa, ganyan. But if this is something that you really want with all your heart kabayan, i-push natin yan. There's no harm in trying naman, and baka malay mo, ikaw na ang susunod na success story. Sa Western culture, it's a very popular concept or thing. Yung mga kabataan, they go on a break year or a gap year to travel abroad, go in another country, longer than a vacation, tapos nagtatrabaho rin sila at the same time para makapag-earn ng money. And usually, yung mga working holiday visa schemes, kabayan, ino-offer siya under agreements between two countries. Si New Zealand government, it started to offer the working holiday visa scheme for Filipinos or Philippine passport holders in 2014. Actually, wala na akong ibang alam na ibang bansa na nag-offer ng working holiday visa for Filipinos. Meron pa kayong alam mga kabayan? Comment nyo nga below kasi wala na akong alam bukod sa New Zealand. So, ano ba tong working holiday visa na to? Para hindi tayo magkamali, i-quote na lang natin ang nakalagay sa website ng Immigration New Zealand. So sabi, this visa helps young, educated people come to New Zealand. You can apply for this visa if you're a citizen of the Republic of the Philippines and you have at least 4,200 New Zealand dollars to live on during your stay. While you're here, you can study and work while you enjoy your holiday. With this visa, you can stay in New Zealand for 12 months. While you're here, you can study for up to 6 months in total. You can work for, but you cannot accept a permanent job or work for the same employer for more than 3 months. And hindi ka rin pwedeng magdala ng dependent, meaning asawa or anak, ikaw lang ang pwede. In my own interpretation, kabayan, when you apply for this visa, the New Zealand government assumes that you're here primarily for a holiday, to go around the country, immerse yourself in their culture, and ang maganda dito habang nagbabakasyon ka, pwede kang magtrabaho. Yun nga lang, not more than 3 months for each employer. But it's a good enough way to supplement your funds while going around New Zealand. O diba, kapag naglalamierda ka, meron kang pagdagdag gastos, pakak na rin, diba? Is this visa a way para maging residente ka dito sa New Zealand? It can be, ganun nga yung nangyari sa akin mga kabayan, diba? Pero, at the end of the day, it all boils down on your personal choice and your personal preference, yung goals mo, tapos, syempre, yung swerte mo rin at sipag mo mga kabayan. Marami akong kakilala na mga nag-working holiday dito, tas eventually, they use it as a stepping stone para makapag-stay ng matagal dito sa New Zealand. Huwag na tayong magpaka-ipokrita mga kabayan. Most Filipinos, operative word ha, most, hindi lahat. Most Filipinos use this visa as a stepping stone talaga. Once makahanap ng permanent work, they will then convert the working holiday visa to a longer-term work visa kasi it's illegal to take on a permanent job while you're on a working holiday visa. Pero ibang proseso pa yung mga kabayan ha, yung pag-convert na yun ng visa. Siguro itakal na lang natin sa iba pa nating mga videos soon. Sa ibang nationality, walang limit yung pwedeng mag-apply ng working holiday and usually open din siya all year round. But for us Filipinos, it's only limited to 100 slots per year mga kabayan. You can only get this visa online and dahil nga limited yung slots, it's really competitive mga kabayan. Sobrang unahan talaga siya. Parang seat sale, ganon. Yung puyatan na seat sale, ganon ang labanan ng pagkuha ng working holiday visa. Nung time namin in 2018, parang in just around 6 or 8 minutes after mag-open ng application, ubos na yung 100 slot. Yung application, it opens at a certain date and a certain time na sasabihin ng Immigration New Zealand. In recent years, usually, yung application date, it opens every February at exactly 5 o'clock a.m. Philippine time or 10 o'clock a.m. New Zealand time. So for this year, 2020, tapos na po ang application mga kabayan. Mag-open ba ulit siya for 2021? Marami pong nagtatanong yan. No one knows. Hindi ko rin po alam mga kabayan. Ang makakasagot lang yan ay ang Immigration Immigration New Zealand, especially now that we are in the middle of a pandemic at meron tayong mga border restrictions in place dito sa New Zealand. Sa ngayon po, ang nakalagay sa website, applications for this visa are closed and will reopen in 2021. Okay, this is Editor Anne from the future. I-upload ko na sana tong video na to, but chinek ko ngayon yung page ng Philippine Working Holiday Visa sa Immigration New Zealand, and ang nakalagay na ngayon na advisory mga kabayan, applications for this visa are currently suspended due to COVID-19. Usually mga kabayan, weeks or days prior naman, magbibigay sila ng information at ilalagay nila to sa website. So I suggest, ayun, every now and then, mag-visit na lang kayo sa website para ma-update kayo sa opening date. So for this video, ang pag-uusapan natin ay ang first and most basic step, which is, determine first if you are eligible for the visa. Kailangang malaman nyo muna kung qualified kayo or pwede kayong mag-apply kasi sayang naman yung effort ninyong mag-research at magbasa, gumising ng maaga on the day, magbayad ng visa fee kung makakuha kayo ng slot. Tapos in the end, hindi naman pala kayo qualified or eligible and madedenay lang yung inyong visa application. Diba nakakainis yun, kabayan? So be smart, kabayan. Alamin mo muna kung eligible ka. I-base na lang natin to sa website ha, para hindi tayo magkamali. First, unahin na po natin to dahil maraming nagtatanong. Age or edad? Yes, meron pong age limit ang Working Holiday Visa. Nabanggit ko po to dun sa ating unang Q&A vlog. It's only for those age 18 to 30 years old. Hindi 17, hindi 31, hindi 32, hindi 35, 18 to 30 years old. Yun na po yung requirement ng Immigration New Zealand. Hindi na po pwedeng baliin, wala na rin pong tawad. Kung more than 30 years old ka na, don't lose hope, kabayan, kasi meron pa namang ibang visa options na pwede mong explore. But for this particular visa, yung working holiday, yun na nga, 18 to 30 years old lang yung pwede. Second, you must provide a proof of your identity. Ito yung ating passport. Kapag nag-apply ka, make sure na yung passport mo ay valid pa rin for at least 15 months after your intended arrival date to New Zealand. So mga kabayan, halimbawa, February 2021, mag-o-open yung working holiday, tas gusto mo mag-apply, dapat yung visa mo hindi mag-e-expire ng 2021 or early 2022 kasi i-reject lang yan ng system. Kung gusto mo talagang i-push, you have to apply for a new passport bago yung application date. Kaya kung mag-expire na yung passport mo, gawan mo na ng paraan ngayon palang, kabayan. Third, you must be in good health. Sa online form, kapag kukuha ka ng slot, merong mga yes or no questions about your health, kabayan. Sabi sa website, you may need to have a chest x-ray and or a medical examination as proof of your good health. Narinig niyo ba yung stress sa mga sinabi ko, kabayan? Share ko lang sa inyo, mga kabayan, yung mga operative words na kailangan nating tandaan when dealing with Immigration New Zealand. May versus must. Kapag may, pwede, baka, or maaari kayong hingian. Kapag must, kailangan yung i-provide yan. Wala pong tawad ang must. May versus must, okay? And versus or. Kapag or lang po ang nakalagay, pwedeng isa sa mga documents or isa sa mga requirements na yon ang ibigay ninyo. Pero kapag and, kailangan i-provide nyo lahat. And, importante yun, mga kabayan. So, dito sa health requirements, di ba sabi, you may need to have a chest x-ray. Operative word, mga kabayan, may. So, baka hingian kayo, depende sa mga sagot nyo dun sa yes or no health questions. Usually, ang nangyayari dito, kabayan, based on experience, say for example, makasecure ka ng slot. After that, makaka-receive ka ng email from Immigration New Zealand detailing kung ano yung mga kailangan mong isubmit to fulfill the health requirements. Ang binabantayan nila na sakit usually is TB or tuberculosis. So sabi sa INZ website again, if in the last 5 years you have lived or traveled in at-risk areas for TB for more than 3 months, then you need a chest x-ray. So the Philippines is not a low-risk country for TB, so kailangan po natin mag-chest x-ray. You also have the option to do a full medical, kabayan, especially if ang purpose mo ay magtagal sa New Zealand and pwede mo itong magamit sa iba mong visa applications. Yung chest x-ray, kabayan, hindi lang to sa kung anong clinic ha. Dapat dun kayo sa accredited clinic or accredited panel physician ng Immigration Immigration New Zealand pupunta. Basta mag-i-email sila ng instruction sa inyo, abangan nyo na lang yun once makasecure kayo ng slot. So fourth na tayo mga kabayan, you must be of good character. Again, sa online form, merong mga yes or no questions about your character. Nakulong ka na ba? Meron ka bang pending na kaso? Mga ganung tanong. Again, sabi sa INZ website mga kabayan, after you apply online, we may ask you to provide police certificates as proof of your good character. Again, ibig sabihin, pwede kayong hingian. In this case, kapag hiningian kayo, NBI clearance yung kailangan ninyong i-provide. Next, genuine intention. Sabi sa website, you must genuinely intend to meet the conditions of your visa. This is a bit tricky mga kabayan kasi i-assess ito based on your personal circumstances and personal declarations. Basta, be honest and truthful lang kabayan. Huwag kayong mag-provide ng mali or misleading na information kasi mari-red flag kayo sa immigration. Be as truthful and as honest as you can be dun sa online form na sasagutan ninyo once you are getting a slot. Next, citizenship. Kailangan lang Filipino kayo. Pinoy naman siguro kayong lahat, di ba mga kabayan? At ang hawak ninyong passport ay Philippine passport. Ngayon, kung wala kayo sa Pilipinas, nagtatrabaho kayo abroad, nagbabakasyon kayo abroad, pwede kayo pa rin mag-apply. Don't worry. As long as yun nga, Philippine passport yung hawak nyo, kahit nasan pa kayo sa mundo, pwede kayo mag-apply for the working holiday visa. The next one is Onward travel. Kailangan daw, meron kang return ticket or the means and the money to buy one paalis ng New Zealand kapag nag-expire na ang iyong working holiday visa. Next, funds. Diniscuss ko na ito mga kabayan kung natatandaan ninyo dun sa ating magkano ang nagastos ko para makapunta ng New Zealand video. Ito yung tinatawag nating show money. Sabi sa website, after you apply online, we may ask for evidence that you have at least 4,200 New Zealand dollars to live on, or that's about 150,000 pesos. So, kailangan ninyong mag-provide ng evidence or proof na meron kayong ganitong amount under your name. Bank statement, credit card statement, bank draft, or traveler's checks. Okay, next criterion is previous approval. One time, big time lang kasi itong working holiday mga kabayan. Kapag nag-apply at na-approve ka na before, hindi ka na pwedeng mag-apply. Isang beses lang po pwede. Give chance to others kasi mga kabayan. Yung next kabayan, isa rin to sa mga trending na tanong, education. Marami kasing nako-confuse or na-misinterpret itong criterion na to. Sabi sa website, lagi kong kino-quote yung website ng immigration na mga kabayan kung napapansin nyo kasi that's our Bible in any visa application that we are doing. Ito yung sabi sa website, you must have tertiary qualification which must involve at least 3 years of full-time university study. Marami sa inyo nagtatanong kabayan, pwede daw ba kung hindi college graduate? So dito sa New Zealand, yung tertiary education, it will involve any training or any studies after secondary education. Dito sa New Zealand, that could include any higher education or vocational training. But, mga kabayan, bago kayo ma-excite, himayin natin yung nasa operations manual ng Immigration New Zealand. Ito yung specific wording nila for the Philippine Working Holiday Visa Scheme. Listen ha mga kabayan, kung naalala yung ating operative words kanina. Applicants must have a tertiary qualification granted in respect of a minimum of 3 years full-time university study. First operative word mga kabayan, must. Ibig sabihin, kailangan, required talaga. Second operative word, and more importantly, hulaan niyo kung ano mga kabayan. Granted. Meaning, dapat nangyari yung granting of the degree na kumpleto mo, na ibigay sa'yo, na grant sa'yo. And third operative word, university study. So kung undergraduate ka, I'm so sorry po, pero hindi kayo qualified for the working holiday visa. But ayun na nga mga kabayan, don't lose hope. Marami tayong mga kabayan na naging successful dito sa New Zealand. Nakapunta, nakapagtrabaho, naging residente dito, na high school graduate or undergraduate, at kinaya nila mga kabayan. They thrived here. So, it doesn't mean na kung hindi ka nakatapos ng college, wala ka ng pag-asang mag-migrate. May pag-asa mga kabayan. Just try, research, and look for other options. Magsumikap ka, magpursige ka, kasi actually mas in-demand nga dito sa New Zealand yung mga skilled or yung mga trades jobs eh. Okay, next na, kailangan you have an acceptable and functional level of English mga kabayan, which is reasonable naman kasi English yung common language dito sa New Zealand bukod dun sa kanilang two other official languages, Tereo Maori and the New Zealand Sign Language. So ano yung evidence na kailangan nyo ipakita mga kabayan to prove that you have a functional level of English? First, pwede kayong magpasa ng acceptable English test result. Pwede ang IELTS or PTE as long as abot ninyo yung minimum score na required ng Immigration New Zealand. Or pwede kayong magpasa ng tertiary qualification where all the tuition was in English. Anong ibig sabihin nito? Pwede kayong kumuha sa inyong university ng Certificate of English as a Medium of Instruction. Ito lang din yung sinubmit ko mga kabayan nung ako'y nag-apply. Tsaka marami akong kakilala na ito lang din yung ginamit. So hindi nyo kailangan mag-language test mga kabayan. Certificate of English lang from your university, pwede na. Sa ngayon ha, yan ang requirements. And then lastly, medical insurance. Sabi sa website, you must have full medical insurance cover for the length of your stay in New Zealand. So dapat fully insured kayo mga kabayan during your working holiday in New Zealand. So, ang evidence na pwede nyo ipakita ay ang copy ng inyong insurance certificate or approval from the insurance company saying na insured kayo for this duration. Or pwede rin naman kayong gumawa ng letter of undertaking, promising or committing to buy a full medical insurance once ma-approve na ang inyong visa. So, ayun na lahat ng eligibility requirements for the working holiday visa mga kabayan. Disclaimer lang ha, bago tayo magtapos, these requirements are current and factual as of October 2020. Discretion po ng Immigration New Zealand kung gusto nilang palitan ng mga requirements, palitan ng mga evidence na required, nasa sa kanila yung mga kabayan. At pwede nilang baguhin to ha for the next round of application. Kaya I always advise everyone, double check and verify all information from the website of Immigration New Zealand. Tapos, once makasecure naman kayo ng slot, makaka-receive kayo ng email with instructions on how to proceed o mga kailangan nyo isubmit. So, sundan nyo lang yun mga kabayan. Another thing is yung ibang documentary requirements, hindi mo agad kakailanganin during the process of getting a slot. Once makakuha ka ng 1 in 100 na slot, doon mo palang isasubmit yung mga requirements or yung ibang documents na kailangan kabayan. Kung check na check sa'yo lahat ng eligibility requirements, kabayan, then congratulations! Pwede ka na mag-apply for the Philippine Working Holiday Visa at mag-proceed sa Step 2. Ano ba yung Step 2? I-discuss natin yan sa Part 2 ng ating Working Holiday Visa series. The process, the application cost, paano ba mag-apply, ano yung conditions ng visa, as well as tips and advice para mas malaki ang chance ninyong makuha ang 1 in 100 slot. O, diba? That's it for this video mga kabayan. If you find this helpful, sana naman i-like ninyo at i-share nyo na rin sa mga friends nyo na interested din sa working holiday visa. Kung hindi ka pa nakasubscribe, help me grow this channel so I can share more information to more Filipinos on how to migrate here to New Zealand. Please click the red button below as well as yung katabi niyang notification bell para maging part na kayo ng ating family and barkadahan dito sa YouTube. Thanks so much for watching mga kabayan. Kita-kits tayo sa part 2 ng ating